Hello everybody, welcome to the FaxStore installation. This is going to cover two sections. The first section is going to be the new Simplified install, while the rest of it will be the old install with all the commands and all the fancy stuff. So we'll do the Simplified install first. Before you start installing FaxStore, you want to make sure you have a couple things. So you want to make sure you have your server or VPS, whatever you want to call it, machine that can run. We recommend Linux-based Ubuntu to do this. However, it can be done on other systems, but this is our supported system. You can run FaxStore on Windows, but Windows is not the best for running websites, and you might have to get a Windows Server license, which also costs extra money. So this is why we recommend this method, and it's just much more efficient. You also need a domain name. This can be like example.com, anything like that will be a domain, unless you want your whole website accessed via an IP, but that's not really suitable for most people. You also want a PayPal business or Stripe account to be able to receive payments. If you're not using FaxStore for any sort of payments, if it's all free content, you necessarily don't need this, but most people will want this. And you also need Discord, Google, Twitter, or GitHub accounts for login methods. Just take note of the system requirements, what's minimum, what's recommended. Really anything works, but the minimum here is probably best just to make sure you're not in any trouble per se. You want to find your domain, and in this case we're going to be using the old domain I have, 𝗙𝗶hy𝗱 and we're going to create a domain that I want the store to be on. So we're going to call it, for our purposes here, we're going to call it test.botguys.com would be how this works. And you want to create an A record in this. So the host will be test, which will be our subdomain. If you want it to just be the root domain, so just botguys.com, you just throw an @ symbol here, like just up here, and it will use just botguys.com. But in this case, we want test, as this is already directed somewhere else. And then you just want the IP address of your server, so you just bang that one in there. We'll create that. Getting onto the Simplified install for FaxStore. Before we want to do anything, we want to download FaxStore, obviously, so we're going to download the latest version, which is 2.11. And this is mainly bug fix updates, so we're going to download it. And we're going to open this. Once it's ready to open for us, it's going to pop up on the other screen, but here it is. And this is the files we have. So this is the FaxStore files. So to install these files, very easy. You just want to pop into your machine. If it's a brand new machine, it might put you in the root folder, so you want to go into the actual root folder back here, and you want to go into the home folder, and in here we're going to create a new directory. This program is called WinSip, by the way. You can get it at winsip.net, and it's just easy to download. You log into your server, and it's a full FTP or SFTP interface. And the other program we're going to be using today is 𝗙𝗶hy𝗱, which is just a console pretty much, but it's a nice fancy one where you can save your hosts and everything like that, so you don't have to continuously log in manually with your password. So we got both of these open, ready to rock and roll. In this case, we're just going to refresh it because I've had it open for a little bit and I don't want it to be disconnected. The directory we're going to create is FaxStore. You can really name it whatever you like, but FaxStore is definitely the preferred. Just makes everything a lot easier unless you're planning to host multiple of these things. And in the FaxStore directory here, all we're going to do is we're going to place all these files here into the FaxStore thing, and it's not going to take too long to upload. There is no big bunch of source in here. This is still kilobyte sized files. It's going to upload fairly quickly for us, and then over on the documentation, while that uploads, we can go to the new Simplified install step. This is really the only step you have to do. All you got to do is, if this is our FaxStore directory, that's perfect. If you've changed it to something else, rename this word here to something else or to the different directory. All you got to do is run this bash command in our terminal once everything is uploaded, which it now has. We're going to run this command, and what this command does is it installs MySQL, which is our database, and it installs Nginx, which is our web server, It installs Node.js, which is the environment we're running our website in. And it installs a couple of other things like SSL certificates and everything like that. Reading FaxStore, there we go. It clears it all so we don't have to do that fucking mess. It also creates a screen session for us, which is how we keep FaxStore running in the background permanently. As a node process, it needs to be like that. And it says, would you like to continue with the first time setup? Yes, we would. Thank you, FaxStore. And it's going to give you the link, which is the direct IP of your server on the port that is default. If you already have FaxStore running, you're going to have to go through the config file and probably do a little bit more of the traditional steps in the config area. Otherwise, it'll just collide probably. So, yeah, we'll go to this link here. So this is our service user ID. This is our account ID that we're going to use for Discord or GitHub, Google, or Twitter. They all have their respective ways to get that ID, but for this case we're going to be using Discord. And I'm just going to grab my user ID by right clicking on my name and pressing copy ID, making sure you have developer mode on Discord turned on for that. And then I don't know why it's, there we go. And then our site name is going to be 𝗙𝗶, and our site description is going to be we make the 𝗙𝗶 here. Something nice and easy. And then we want a license key, and you just got to press the get key button for this. And you want to find your FaxStore. If you haven't created it yet, it will be under unregistered keys, and you just got to press create. But in our case, we're just going to copy it here. We're going to go over to here, copy that, and then we're going to go into here. We're going to put that right there. A contact email. This is used for our SSL certificates. If your certificate is going to expire and it's not automatically renewed, you'll get emailed by this. And it'll also use this email in the config. So we're gonna use store at faxes.zone. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to forever receive emails. We're gonna use test at faxes.zone. Payment methods, we're going to use AUD on our website, and then you would put your PayPal client ID and PayPal secret here, making sure it's a business account, and making sure they're not sandbox keys either. That's a very common mistake. At the PayPal page, there will be a button that says sandbox and a button that says live. Make sure you're on the live section before you put your keys in here. And Stripe is a little bit easier with the developer mode, so put the Stripe keys here. Pretty self-explanatory. Going back up, our MySQL creator section. This is our random password it generated. Super simple, and it will also automatically input it here for us. If you already have a MySQL password on your system, you ignore this and input your actual password. Our database name is going to be FaxStore, and our website domain. You just need the domain, not the URL. So do not put HTTP. Do not do that. You just want test. If I can spell it right, .botguys.net. Simple, easy, done. Now for our login methods, we want to make sure we have Discord. And once you got your client token, you just got to throw it into there like so. And then we also want to set a redirect URI. And what this does is allow us to actually log in. So the redirect URI is going to be https:// as a URL. test.botguys.net/auth/discord. We're using Discord. If you're using Google, replace that with Google, Twitter, GitHub, and then we want callback to be written there. And now we just got to run complete setup. So press complete setup. It's going to load this page for a little bit here, and here we go. Now it says setup complete and please wait. It's going to give you a bunch of details on what it sets up. So you just got to wait for this to do its thing as well. It's going to tell you if things were successful. It made edits to the config file, which is perfectly correct. And now it says FaxStore setup is now complete. And you'll notice our terminal has actually restarted FaxStore, and it's done some automatic updates here for us as well. And then you just got to press site home, and it will redirect you to test.botguys.net, and you have done everything. We got cool mods online. If you have any issues or anything like that, pop it in the FaxStore support channel in the Discord. A link is down below. If you're not already in the Discord as a customer, highly recommend joining it. It's a great community hub. And that is pretty much how you install FaxStore. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.